What's going on, everybody? Specifically, ladies. I'm looking out for y'all today. We're going to talk about a fragrance from the house of Valentino. So strap up. Let's go for that ride.
Okay, dinner for two. I watch that head move side to side as I let the sin into the room. You are on time, let's connect minds. Trying to get into a mood. We gon' be fine. Close up the blinds, no rush. Finish the food.
All right. Welcome to the Scent Bubble. I am your host for the evening. Ladies, I'm going to look out for you. Now, you might not need anything along the lines of my opinion or what I would have to say. But while I'm here talking about fragrances and while the lady portion of my subscriber count continues to grow, even though I know a lot of you guys, because you've told me, are here for your boyfriends, your spouses, your significant others, your family members, brothers, sisters, all that stuff, I'm going to look out for you guys. Maybe there's scents that you've been looking at in the market, and I would like to give you a male's perspective on certain scents that I come by, and maybe my experience, my thorough experience in the fragrance game, might help direct your sale a little bit in terms of things you might want to put your nose on. And we'll just go from there. I'll deal with, subscriber feedback to figure out if this is a valid pocket of information for this channel. But I've copped the top 30 female scents in the designer category. And, I do review unisex fragrances and other stuff like that. So there's definitely things for you abundantly on the channel. But for women specifically, I wanted to review some women's scents from a older gentleman's male perspective. So with that being said, from the house of Valentino, this is Valentino Donna, born in Roma. Initial impressions. We're going to go skin test and test strip for all of these that we go through. So stay tuned for that. And I'm interested to try this because I haven't smelled the women's and I want to see if it's in the vein of Born in Roma for men. So very similarly to this Born in Roma idea is, and I actually just realized I pulled up the wrong screen. Let me put Donna, Born in Roma, to see if there's any information. I think one of the biggest draws, surprisingly, to Valentino outside of their scents is their aesthetic and branding. Jewels and rhinestones and things like that are all super familiar things that women grow up with. Rhinestoning various things such as Starbucks cups and cell phones when you were younger, cell phone cases and things like that, iPads. And the bottle is very rhinestoned out in the glasswork. And so that's a very fancy, posh, fun, exciting kind of aesthetic to have for a bottle. Makes it feel hip, modern, cool, but also appeals to women my age who did this when they were kids to just feel somewhat youthful. And let's see if there's any information on this. So this was brought to our attention in 2019 and was supposed to be a modern haute couture floriental. Nice. It says a couture elegance made of 3 jasmine flowers and accords blended with vanilla bourbon, one of the most expensive ingredients in modern perfumery. This is twisted with a cool facet made of pink pepper, woody over. Okay, so now they're giving us notes that I don't really want to go into, but it says the bottle design is designed with the iconic Valentino stud, pause, inspired by Roman architecture, which is a signature of Valentino couture. Valentino is available in 50 and 100 ml eau de parfum. Okay. And similar to the Valentinos on the men's side, especially the Born in Roma side, you get a somewhat pungent, light, candy sweet in the most natural way possible. Not candied, meaning, synthetic. This is desirable synthetic. This is tasteful fake sweetness. You get almost like a gust of breezy air, not cold air, just a gust of breezy air. There's an airy, almost watery perspiration kind of crispness to this. It's very fresh. It's playful. It's fun. But it also has a bit of fanciness to it. It's floral, but it's more candied and sweet than floral. It's candied and it's like flower petals that are dipped in sugar water. So you still get the natural floral gust, but it's candied in a fancy modern way. A lot of women's gripes with florals is that they can tend to feel old ladyish. This is far from it. Very modern, pristine, fancy, very Kardashian-esque. This reminds me of a lot of stuff in the men's category, surprisingly. On skin, it warms up. It feels bigger, brighter. On test strip, it's very light and airy and crisp. It's got a lot more body on skin. But similar profile, it's just more robust. It goes from being skinny to being, very robust. Let's go ahead and switch screens here so we can check out the notes. Black Currant, Pink Pepper, Bergamot up top. Surprisingly, I don't kind of get that. Maybe it's just the blend. But I guess it does have somewhat of a light grape-like quality tint to the florals, but the pepper's not there. The bergamot is just used here to provide an incredible amount of lift. This is mostly a heart-based fragrance. This tea and these loads of jasmine with a good dose of vanilla, but it's not a vanilla fragrance. It's not a vanilla overdose. It's just the right amount. 40, 50%, not even. It's more like 30, 40% vanilla and Cashmeran tint. It's like 60% floral, white floral. And then the top notes with the Cashmeran base seem to just give this candy tint to the fragrance for sure. I'm interested to see. So moderate performer, moderate to long lasting. I'm guessing, ladies, you're going to at least get 6 hours quite easy. And the way most women kind of spray themselves, they don't, a lot of the women that I've seen spray themselves don't really count. My wife counts. She does. She's a 2-spray person, 2 sprays, doesn't matter what the performance is. She's a light sprayer. But I do know a lot of women that kind of shower themselves in their fragrance. And if you do that, this fragrance should easily get you to 7-8 hours. If you're a light sprayer, you should easily get about 4 or 5 hours out of this. This just seems nice. There's a sense in which I feel, Prada Milano, Britney Spears. There's a sense to this fragrance in which it feels like it's office friendly. Again, it is fun and playful, but due to its floral heart, I feel like this is upscale, casual / semi-formal work fragrance. You would smell very fancy and modern in the workplace. It wouldn't be too loud. It is a bit candied for the office, but because of the floral heart, I think that's what ties it into kind of classic femininity with a modern twist. I even feel like after work, say you work as a secretary or something in a corporate building in Manhattan or something like that, you could totally take this out for drinks. You know what I'm saying? You're in your office attire, but you're going to a nice, maybe deck lounge or something like that, or a bar, and you could have some drinks with a coworker. Just effortless beauty. You're modern. Again, think of like, the younger Kardashians kind of feel. You feel fancy. You feel like you're moving along in life. You very easily garner attention and compliments from men. And this is just perfect for that ensemble. I feel like younger girls would be super into this. The 25 and down category would just be a staple in your collection as just everyday wear. It feels like it's seasonless. You just wear this all the time. In colder weather, it would be tough because it's so light and airy that if you're outdoors, the cold would just peel this fragrance apart, I feel. But anything moderate temperature, even sundown, stuff like that, I just think this would just be an absolute staple. This is just an easy wear. It's dumb reach, but it's still fancy, surprisingly. It's not super formal, but again, it's got the best of both worlds. It's modern, it's futuristic, it's animated, but it's grounded in a very soft, angelic floral nature that really makes it timeless and always relevant in most occasions. I'm going to give this fragrance somewhere like an 8 or a 9 for the women. I feel like it has to be an 8 at least. And for a lot of you women, this could be a signature scent because of the versatility, because of the fanciness. It will just always lift you up instead of down. It won't even meet you where you're at. This definitely will lift you up. Again, it's not overly candied and it's not overly floral. And since they're using more white florals, it still has that gust of air behind it where it's not just a floral. You know, this fragrance is got the candied fanciness that would somebody who's intimidated by florals would not recognize that this is a floral fragrance right off the bat. Very nice. I give it an 8. I think a lot of women might even give it a 9. This could just be staple everyday wear. Sprays on this, I think, ladies, you should go trigger happy with something like this because the more you spray it, it's just going to last longer. It's not going to change the DNA or make it abrasive or anything like that. Dates, day dates, work environment, casual errand running, everything in between. This is just so easy on the nose for me as a guy. And it falls in line with the Valentino for men, honestly. It's very close. You know, I just think it's great. Again, this is the eau de parfum concentration, the bottle presentation, all that is just there. Alternatives to this, ladies. I mean, there's a lot of fragrances that can give you the same kind of floral identity as this, even the Estee Lauder Pleasures and things like that I had. Well, I'm not sure if I've released that review yet, but there's a lot of fragrances that smell like this, but I think that what separates this from most designers and vintage floral scents is the modern candied touch to it. You know, it almost has like an Aaron Terrence Hughes hard candy type of spin on it. Almost an instant crushy kind of tint on it. Almost feels like saffronish, but in a more candied, airy type of way. Really good scent though. Really good scent. 8 or a 9 out of 10 for me. I just think it's going to be a staple for most women's collection. Even though I said 25 and down could really gravitate towards this, I really think ladies, even older ladies north of 25, could really appreciate this as just something easy to wear to lift up your mood and feel fancy and feel put together. And it even in some ways kind of feels like the scent that would be complementary to stuff you're already shampooing and conditioning your hair with. And, you know, when you go to put your deodorant on and your Dove related products and stuff like that, this in the air with that would just go together and make you just kind of feel very angelic, but very Kardashian fancy like. This was Valentino Donna, born in Roma for women, the EDP concentration, and I think it's an absolute banger for you ladies. Staple Dumb Reach. You can get this fragrance around, what's it retail? It retails on the 50 ml. It seems to be discounted at around 80, 100 mil around 100-ish, but retail is around the 150, 140 marker for the 100 mil. But discounters, you can nab this up for around the $70 to $100 price point, just depending on whether you're going 50 to 100 mil. Totally think it's worth it. Definitely pick it up. Again, guys, like, comment, subscribe. More importantly, turn on that notification bell. Talk to me. I do talk back. Ladies, do you have this in your collection? Do you like it? Let me know your age and what you feel about this fragrance, because if you're a woman, I feel like you definitely have put your nose to this before, because out of everything in the Sephoras and the Ulta Beauties and things like this, it sounds like this bottle presentation would definitely stand out from the rest. You know, black on pink. What woman doesn't like black and or pink? So anyways, hope you guys enjoy this review. If you want more reviews like this for the ladies, definitely sound off and speak up, ladies. I do follow the data on this channel, and we want to look out for you ladies, not just with content, but also bring you guys on the channel. So if any of you are interested in doing some collaborative content as well, let me know. I'm going to sign out. Hope you guys stay blessed, and until next time, peace.